Okay, for some reason that took a bit to catch on. Why is my face lagging? Let me see if I'm on the right Wi-Fi network. I'm on the Wi-Fi 5 network, and the VPN's off, so I don't know why there's like a slight amount of lag between my mouth movements and my avatar, but we'll just go with it. Okay, what's up, goobers? Yeah, I just noticed that there's a black screen as soon as, oh, let me go turn on my stream light and close the door real quick. Doop, doop, doop. Okay. We're good now. Alright, what's up, goobers? Today, I think might be the final stream for the Cradle of Pilth build. We have gotten pretty far in it so far. Yeah. Let's see. Hold on, let me go close out a few things right now, because, my programming environment, Sea Lion, is not able to connect to our thingy. Okay, let me go switch over to this one view thingy. Okay. Cool. So, is this auto-switching? That's not auto-switching. Oh, I'm not even on the right view. Okay, how about now? Yeah, cool. It's working. Okay. This is not in the right place, though, at all. Okay, so the Cradle of Pilth currently looks like this. And, let's see. So, since last time, what I did was, I designed and I printed a kind of a rudimentary cover for it. It's not really a true enclosing lid because there's like big gaps here, and I didn't want that yet. I just wanted something to like kind of keep it in place and kind of protect it while letting me put different wires and cables wherever I need to. Why is this upside down? Let me go fix that. Workbench. Rotate 180, there we go. Okay, so we're not upside down anymore. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. This is where we're at right now. I decided, so the original LED strip that I had, I just found and reused from like another project. This one, it's having some connection issues. It's a bit weird because, like, it's only the first LED. It's not the rest of them that are having issues. So, it's not the usual point of failure, which would be, like, right over here. It's somewhere in here, but this was just gonna be temporary anyway. So, yeah, we are ditching that. But I also realized that we do want to have a connector here, so that we can just detach and reattach it, since the LEDs will probably be kind of in flux for design. Let me turn the light on. There we go. Now, we have a JST-XH 4-pin connector here for the encoder, which takes 4 connections, but I'm actually out of 3-pin connectors. So, because I didn't want to use another 4-pin one, because we're already using a 4-pin one here, and I just have a thing where I want to use different connector sizes, so you can't plug the wrong connector in the wrong place. I'm actually using a 5-pin JST-XH connector for the LEDs, which have not been wired up yet, because the thingy that is going to hold them is still 3D printing. We have 14 minutes on it. Why am I streaming from Australia? Yeah, I like kangaroos. I can't think of a witty answer for that. Yeah, the actual answer is the GoPro, which I'm using for this. It has, like, it can tell the orientation, and I guess it started off upside down, so it got confused. But yeah, just fixed it. So yeah, we're using a JST-XH 5-pin connector here instead, even though 2 of the pins are not going to be used, and that's going to be where the LEDs plug into. Now, this is what I was originally going to have the LEDs being held onto. And so this was gonna screw into here, and we would have 3 LED slots, each corresponding to a different pill bottle, and then 2 on the front here. One of them would be the status of the roller being pulled or not, and the other one would be kind of just a general status thing, like if we're connected to whatever, if it's turned on. And the form factor for these LEDs is actually going to be these little tiny single LED boards. They come in like a package of like, I think 100 or so, and they're all like just in a grid, and you just break them apart. And then you can just like stick them in places like right in here and just solder them up together. And so I mostly like the shape, but this is just a test print. This thing does not need 4 screws to be held on. It's just a LED indicator thing, so I'm getting rid of this pole. And I also wanted it to be in clear plastic, not white, but I didn't actually have any on hand, so I ordered some clear PETG, and we are currently printing out the the next revision of this. What I also had to do was I had to reprint this thing to make it a little bit longer, because since I'm using this header so that we can swap out the MCU if needed, it's actually taller than I anticipated it being. So the pill bottles were not actually able to clear that, and now they can. So, yeah, that's another little adjustment. Yeah. Wait, did y'all see that? Okay, yeah. I just need to make sure that because I automatically switch the cameras depending on where my head is and where I'm looking. But yeah. So, how many minutes are we left on the print? We're at only 10 minutes left on this print. It's a pretty short print. So, as soon as that's done, we're gonna be able to get it together. I'm gonna go find some normal hot glue sticks instead of the purple ones, because since we're gonna be gluing, like, on clear plastic, the purple is just gonna kind of clash with it, even though I normally like purple hot glue. So, I guess while we're waiting for that, we'll have to waste some hot glue for a bit. And you might as well get the hot glue then started. And, I guess we can also look for some file that I made a while ago. Okay, so getting this plugged in now. So we're just gonna heat this up, pull out that one stick that's in there, and then put one of these and purge whatever's left in there, so that we can just tack on the LEDs in where they sit, and then we can start wiring that up. But yeah, and so I actually just got these Torx drivers. I mean, they're super cheap, nothing special. Just got them off Amazon for like $6. So I also need to find this file that I made, which holds these hex drivers, so that I can also hold my Torx drivers there. So yeah, I'm gonna be looking for that file while we wait for this to heat up so that we can purge it, and while we wait for this 3D print to finish, which has 9 minutes left. So yeah. Well, I guess we also need to test out if the upload environment is working. I had to close out a Fusion 360 because I think it's being greedy, looking for ports and hogging them. And this is like one of the things I just kind of really hate about doing embedded projects is, will the thing actually connect to it, even though it's supposed to be like super duper easy to do it. So, yeah, where's the boot button? Yeah, there's the boot button. Okay, so, yeah, these are like super duper duper tiny buttons. Okay, let's see if that works. We're looking for port 16. Anytime it's port 4, that's the wrong one. There's like some weird finicky stuff I have to do. Like, I think I had to rotate this connector a couple times for it to actually work. But I think the only thing we didn't get working last time was the buzzer. And it may have been because I misunderstood what the duty cycle was on LEDC, right? Because if we were going, okay, so we are able to write to it. So let's see, if it's working, we should be able to, nope, we don't, oh. Okay, that's strange. So the buzzer is working, but one of these things is not. And it looks like that the connection got super finicky also. So let's see what's going on here. Where do you do the buzzer logic? Bottle 1 in place, bottle 2 in place, or bottle 3 in place. I have a feeling that somewhere along the line, some wire got disconnected. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Is that what happened? I think that's what happened. So, let's see. Where did the blue one even go? Oh, shit. Yeah, that just straight up pulled out. Okay, so we need to fix that real quick. I think that may have happened when I dropped it. So let's go fix that real quick. Yeah, we have plenty of things to do right now. Even while we wait for that 1-3 print to finish. Okay. Let's disconnect the encoder. And turn on the soldering iron, which is at 450. And we could add more water to the, where'd it go? Oh, there's a glass of water poured for me already. Gonna drink most of that, and then wet that sponge. Okay. Alright. So it's just one wire that's disconnected, so that'll be pretty quick to fix. I guess we need to pull off some of the hot glue, though. Guess the hot glue did not protect it. Where are my flush cutters? Here. Okay. So we just pull that off. Yeah, we get access to what we want here. We just carve that off. And then here, just off that little bit. We'll just trim some of this cable sleeving because it's just gonna get in the way and gunk stuff up. Okay. But we do have the buzzer working at least. That is good. Because that was like the last part that wasn't working. Alright. did this get untangled? Okay, we're untangled now. Alright. Gonna tin that, and then kind of guide this over and have it touch tips while we melt it. Okay, that should be good enough. Not amazing, but not the worst. And then this should be hot enough so we can purge it. Let's pull first. If I can pull. I don't know if that's gonna be possible. Okay, we can just kind of grab it like that, and then maybe some needle nose, and just pull it out this way. Yeah, that worked. Cool, we didn't have to waste that much. And then some normal hot glue. I realized that we don't actually have to waste that much, because clearly that wasn't enough glue on there to protect it from pulling out, so we'll just put a lot more on here just to really protect it. Yay! I mean, if it's gonna go to waste anyway, by like, and we're really close to getting to the new glue stick. Might as well just like completely cover this all in hot glue. Okay, cool. And I think this is, yeah, that's clear enough. Alright. We are 1 minute left on the 3D print. Okay, so I think we fixed that, and we can verify it just by, if we hear those. Okay, cool. So that works. And we're not gonna have it do that all the time, because that'll get super annoying. 3D print looks good, and so we got a little bit left to go. So, just gotta wait for that. And, yeah, what else did I say I was gonna do? This stuff is gonna take a bit to cool off. Ooh, that's hot. Oh, right, I was supposed to look for that one file. Okay, so first, and that 3D print is done, so I want to get that other print started before we keep going. Cool. There we go, that's done. And then let's change a setting in Fusion, and then, look for that one file that I was talking about, and then, we can start wiring up those thingies. So, go hide this real quick. Okay, back. There might be a thing about trying to find, like, a, 3D printer on here and connect to it. Let me go find that. Fusion 360, connect to 3D printer setting. USB. doesn't exist in Fusion anymore. I remember that being a problem ages ago, where Fusion 360, like, you could print directly from it instead of having to use a slicer. Where'd my arm go? Arm's back. There's an issue where Fusion used to hog 3 printer connections and mess up any microcontroller programming you're trying to do because it was hogging the serial port. But I'm trying to look it up and I can't find it, so maybe that's not an issue anymore. Okay, so let's go look for... It might be in, like... Studio General Improvements? Wow, these prints are, like, at least 5 years old. Studio Desk Improvements. Driver holder. This is exactly what I wanted. And, yeah, I might as well just print all 4 of those slots, because the thingy that I got has, like, 3 sizes. I think it has T8, T9, T10, and T15. I don't actually use T8 for anything, and T9 only fits, like, one of the screws that I have, and T10 fits the other half, and 15 the other half, so, yeah. And what orientation did I print this in? I printed it standing up. Okay, so yeah, I'm pretty sure I printed it that side down. So let's just go get that one started, and then we can continue. Is this the right thing? No, that's not the right thing. Oh, there's a new window opening up right now. Okay, so we'll just do PLA plus, just to match the other ones. Everything else is like black on here, and that'll take 24 minutes. And I'll just rip off the purge line, which is... Oh no, the purge line's already gone. Okay, cool. Sweet. So that is printing, and now we can do LEDs. Okay, so LEDs. And this is... I was about to say dry, but it's probably more appropriate to say it's cold now. So that is cold now, and, let me go get those LEDs in place. I think the way to do it, so if this is going to be attached here, which, yeah, this test fit is confirming that that should work, then, I'm going to be going this way and then this way, I think. So, yeah. What I think I'll do is I'll just tack these in, and then we'll just, cut the wires as we need to, and bend them in whatever. And since we're gonna be bending them in place, I think it makes sense to just use solid core stuff. It's easier to wrangle, but it is sensitive to bending, or it is sensitive to I guess stress when you wiggle it around too much. But since it's gonna be fixed in place, that should not be an issue. Don't need that much glue right now. We're just tacking it in place. You also should be patient, because I don't have my freeze spray right now. Okay. Where is my solid core wire? Because I'm going to strip off the installation for most of it. I'm just going to use some random color. go with yellow, because I have a ton of yellow. And that should be cool by now, yeah. Okay, so we're going this way, this way, this way, just confirming the arrows are good. And then going this way here. Oh, now I got some glue where I didn't want to get glue. That's gonna smell amazing, and I'm being sarcastic. Okay, let's try to peel off most of it from there. Close enough. And then one more here. Okay. Alright. So, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take... Let me zoom that in quite a bit. Okay, there. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna, like, kind of get the rough length of this. And, let's see... Yeah. And then, just gonna, like, kind of bend it around. And then gonna overshoot it a little bit. And then we're just gonna take off all that insulation. And then we're just gonna, like, kind of tack it on, bend it, tack it on, bend it, until we hit all those, and we can do that for the power rails because they're all common anyway. I think it'll be easier to start on this end, I think, yeah. It also might just be easier to tin all those pads also before we even start. And then we can just coat it in glue to insulate it. Okay. And this is gonna be kind of nasty actually, so I should probably get the soldering fan out. What do I want to unplug? I will unplug the hot air station. Okay. So we have the fan going, and let's tin these pads. And I can smell the hot glue melting already. Okay, yeah, it was definitely a good idea to bring out the fan. It's not just soldering fumes, it's also It's also the hot glue touching the soldering iron. This part, though, we really gotta wipe that off. There we go. That is now tinned. And then here, it's kind of an awkward angle to work at. So I have this, like, giant-ass phone in my face sticking out. You can see that here. Ugh. Okay. Could have sworn I just saw my cat go somewhere that he shouldn't have gone, but maybe I'm hallucinating. Nope, he is sleeping peacefully on my futon. Okay, where are my tweezers I just had? There. So let's do ground first. Yeah, it doesn't look like a lot. And that just shorted 2 data. Okay, that should be okay-ish, and should probably use flux for the rest of it. And the hot glue just popped out, also. Okay, I think that might just have to put some hot glue down here instead. There we go. That's seated in there now. Okay. The reason I was using tweezers is because wire is obviously conductive, and that kind of hurts if I touch it with my bare fingers. But it's also not that much thermal mass, so it resets to normal temperatures pretty quickly. But honestly, just this first wire is probably the worst one, because once it's in place, it should be stiff enough to keep all the others in place, I guess. And that might need a bit more. Okay, that looks good. And then... okay, so I'm doing ground right now. Yeah, that's ground. So then that means this rotates and goes up to here. I think this might be a case where might want to clamp it down with something. Onifix actually might be perfect for this. full system, like just the clip itself. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Oh, I forgot to add the flux. There we go. Okay, that's in. And that is in. And can actually trim that now. Okay, so then I'm going to do the same thing, but with the other power rail, which will be 5 volts, because we just ground. Yeah. So we got a similar length of wire here. The white pen, what is that white pen you just used? I used a flux pen. It's just same stuff that like is normal flux, except for it's like watered down, I think with some isopropyl alcohol or some other solvent that dissolves real quickly. And I like working that more than the thick gunky stuff. And yes, tweezers, the only thing worse than 10mm sockets. Somehow lost 5 of them last year. Yeah, that's why I have a bajillion tweezers. Of varying quality. A lot of them freebies that come with random toolkits, and I save the nicest ones for when I really need them. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I forgot to, do that. And also just tin it also. Okay. Alright, that was in. And then. Let me just use the OmniFixo and get the these ones lined up. Get it on the outer instead of the inner side of it. Okay. Oh yeah, flux. Flux helps the solder stick to surfaces that you're soldering to. I don't know what it actually does chemically. I just know that it helps. Okay, that is connected, and then these last bits. Or last bits for that side anyway. Alright. And then I'm gonna do the same thing. That's not hot anymore. Funny loopy thing, and don't let them touch. Yeah. Trying to make tighter so that we don't have them touching and shorting. And then if I can just pin one of those down into place where it should be. Okay, that's a little bit close. Let's move it a bit. Yeah, that's better. It's definitely not an orthodox soldering technique. Oops. Okay. Got that in, and then we just need to, I think, actually, I should just move it in place instead of trying to move that clip. Okay. Maybe I should really just use the OmniFixo normally, instead of trying to, like, wiggle it around on stuff, which is kind of the whole point of the OmniFixo. Is that you don't have to do that. Did I already? I did not. Okay. Oh. There we go. Okay, wow, I should have just done this at the start. Why did I not do that? Well, at least we have one more track to do after this. So... Alright. Some flux there. Okay. You can really see that smoke just getting dragged through that. And I think that smoke is not soldering fumes, actually burning off hot glue. Okay, so it's kind of ugly, but it'll work. And then this part is a little different because for the power rails, we could just do like one long ass wire all the way through, but for the data, we can't do that. We have to just we have to do each segment individually. Oh, that's where the cap for my thingy went. Okay, so I think with this, we can actually just use these flat ones. And then I'm just gonna be, I'm gonna keep the insulation on here because we don't need to strip it all for everything, and this will help us not let that short with the other stuff. Actually, I want to use white for this, just that it blends in with the, blends in-ish with, the stuff. But where is my white wire? Found black. Found white, but it's the wrong thickness. I started in the wrong spot. Okay, here's white. gonna slice off about that much. Actually, a little more. And we're just gonna get the tips. And also just gonna like pre-tin them to make life easier. Okay. So we're tinned there. Or we're fluxed there. Let's tin that. And this blob is looking kind of nasty. And then let's line this up. Okay. That was shorting 2 pads for a bit. I think we're good now. And then here... I can find my finer tip soldering iron tip. That might be better. Okay, cool. Got 1 out of 4 connections. And then here... Is this long enough? Yep. Oh, cool. The driver holder thing is done printing. Okay. That is tinned. Let's secure this, and then hopefully we just need to touch that to get it to flow. Yeah. Here, same story, probably. Bend that a little. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Is it? Nah, it's not. Could use a little more. It's kind of thin. Yeah, that's a lot beefier. Nothing. Looks like it's touching. That's good. Alright, this one's gonna be kind of weird because you got that bend. So I'm actually just gonna cut off more than I definitely need. And I think I'm just gonna like clamp that in place, and then we'll just bend the things around it. This is really awkward. Kind of dent that in with my fingernail. Okay, I think it'll be easier to start actually on the other side. Because, yeah, and then we'll have a lot more room to... and not have to worry about, like, stuff shorting because we have all this insulation on here. Yeah. We'll just soak it in flux. And then tin that. That definitely receded quite a bit more than I expected it to. It's also kind of a really fat blob also. Okay, so let's see. I might have to do just something kind of weird here. I don't even think I can actually reach that. I think I'll just have to use tweezers here. Okay, let me go inspect that up close. Okay, that looks secure and it looks like it's not shorting anything. Segment. Should not be that hard. Actually kind of too long. How about this? Yeah, that's good length. that is definitely shorting now. Ah, fuck. Where's that little bit of... Maybe we should just get rid of that for now. Some excess will probably come off with it. Okay, I'm gonna try and clean that up just a little bit. Now I think it's shorting with the ground now. Okay, that should be better. I can verify with the multimeter and visually inspecting it. Okay, I don't think that's shorting either side anymore. And then I need to trim this a little bit. And then I can probably get this final one in and just do some continuity checks. And if it's good, we'll just coat the whole damn thing in hot glue. Although, I'll also need to, get these ends connected so that we can actually connect to the PCB. Okay. Alright, so... Oop. Everything's tangled. Okay, so when you hear that, that means that something is connected. And we just want to make sure that from this end all the way to here, that's connected, that's good. And then from this end all the way to here, that's good. And then we don't want these two to be connected. So they're not connected at all, that's good. And then want to just make sure that none of... Oops. Just want to make sure that none of the data lines are connected to ground. So, yeah. So that's good, and that's good. That's good. That's good. I know that I'm touching it like twice. I just want to like double check basically and make sure that if I have like a funny contact. Okay, so nothing's connected to there, and just sanity check that we are connecting the right thing. And then here, sanity check that. That's good. That's not connecting, that's good. Not connecting. Not connecting. Not connecting. Not connecting. Not connecting. Not connecting. And not connecting. And then sanity check again. That is good. Okay. So we should be ready to hook this up now to the PCB. First, just gonna douse this in hot glue so that it stays insulated. And it'll also keep the LEDs in place. pretty much mostly covered. I ignored this one. I ignored the top on purpose because we still need to solder there. Okay. So how long does this need to be? Just kind of referencing here. I'm gonna say maybe 100 centimeters, not 100 centimeters, 100 millimeters. Okay, so let's get that wire. Red, white, and black. And just have them be all like the same length. Now let's go a little bit over instead of a little bit under. And then direction that this needs to go. We actually need to have this, like, instead of it going out this way, we actually need to go out the other way. It's a little awkward, but... So let's just snip those and tin them. Since this is a silicone instead of a PVC wire insulation, it won't shrink back though. And then twist them with the ends of the tweezers, which I just realized is a pretty good way to do it. Okay. And these wires, they soak up solder so well that you don't need to flux them. And you just like straight up start tinning them. Okay, so 5 volts, data, and ground. So let's do data first. And then 5 volts, or let's do ground next. That's gonna be the hardest to reach. And then we're definitely going to want to continuity check this because it's like super duper tight. And then 5 volts. And then let's continuity check that. Okay. Nope. And nope. And nope. And sanity check, that is good. Now we can goon this in hot glue. Oh my god, I'm getting like super tangled today, more than usual. Okay. And then let's get the rest of that part. Oop. Okay, cool. So, just need to wait for this to cool off. I have a fan to accelerate it, but my cat hates it, and he is napping peacefully right now, so I don't want to use it right now. So we're just gonna wait a bit. While I drink Monster. Hopefully this doesn't look super ugly once it's actually on the thing, because from this point of view, it's really ugly. Okay, and in the meantime, now that that's kind of held on, let me go get the JST-XH connectors. 5-pin, there you are. And some crimps. That's pH. I'm gonna be annoyed if I'm somehow out of the XH ones. Because I used to have a shit ton of those. Alright, you are DuPont. You are XH, perfect. There's a whole ass roll of them. Only need 3, even though it's a 5-pin connector. By now, this should be cool enough to work with. Okay. Let's crimp these guys on. That's backwards. Okay, that is 1. And 2. And 3. Okay. And then the way that this goes, we're gonna have power in the middle. And then, let's see, ground on this side. And signal on the other side. Okay. And then if we take this and plug that in, and then power it up, awesome. We have 3 red. This one's not even programmed yet, and this one only turns on when the encoder is connected. So we should be able to test that out. We need to take this apart though first to assemble. So let's do that, and we don't need this fan anymore. And let's put the meds away. Okay. disassemble this. Oh, should probably put the cap on that. Just take these ones off. This. Let's unplug it just so that we don't stress any wires. And then that just goes here. And go get some more of those plastites. We need quite a bit. Okay. Oh, you can't see that. Let's tilt that then. This needs a bit more power to drive it in. Okay. That's good, and we might as well also put in the rest of those screws for the what's it called, the PCB holder. Well, nah, I'll just do that later. But yeah, let's go put... Ah, heck. Maybe we should have... Yeah, I have to undo that first. Okay, I think we actually have to put the bottle holder on first. Since this wire needs to go underneath the where the LEDs are plugging in, or where the LEDs are mounted. So is this even like long enough? We might have to actually move that up. Wait, that'd be a problem though. Shit, this might actually not even be long enough. Might have to extend some of those wires, which pain in the ass, but it happens. Shit. Can we just... This is too short. We have to redo that. Ah. Okay. What's the easiest way to do this? don't want to undo that, so... honestly, I think I'm just gonna... slice this. Nah, I'll just do it the proper way. Semi-proper way. I'll just cut those first. And then get the desoldering gun out. Should all just pull away, yeah. And then I can extend these. Oh, that's annoying. But not the worst thing to deal with. Just make everything like maybe about that much longer. Just kind of plenty of slack. And then lazy extend these. And slip some heat shrink over it. I'll just cut them all to the same length. And then we can solder it back onto the board. So yeah, let's just tin these ones again. Okay. Now we can take this and put those back in. I think it was pretty easy. The common one is just going to go to that round one here. If it'll go in, yeah, now it will. Not too worried about these pins lining up exactly because we can just change it if it's we got it backwards. Just gonna assume that the first one is supposed to be yellow. Well, first, let's trim off these ends that are kind of too long to work with anyway. This is completely random, but like the Kids Bop version of Let the Bodies Hit the Floor is like stuck in my head right now. With, like all the funny, like cartoony and circusy sound effects. And I have no idea why. Okay. Now that should actually fit. So let's just do a sanity check and plug everything in before we put it all together. Where did the board go? Am I once again gonna lose an entire microcontroller? Nope, I found it. Okay, so LEDs are working. Everything's working, we can put it together. Okay, so let's unplug the LEDs. And let's put this here. Actually, I think we need to put the LEDs on first before we can secure the top. That's annoying, but okay. Okay, so where'd that driver go? Or I'll just use the drill. That missed entirely. Okay, that's it. Okay. Cool. We've got that in now, and we just got the LEDs plugged in. Wrestling this connector through here. Okay. So now we can take that top piece and, where do we put it? Here. And this is a little bit awkward, because we have to, like, line this all up first, and then screw it all in as, like, one thingy. It's not optimal, and if I ever need to reprint that base part, then I will totally be putting in separate screw places to install that in, but I don't feel like it right now. But yeah, it is a pain in the ass though. I think the best way to do it is to just got like the first two corners in and secure it on, and then put the other two in there. So, like that. And then this other corner, I'm not going to do the other two right now, because just want to test this out before we fully commit to the rest of the screws. And that is just a little bit off, so I can reprint that also. But it should work for now. Okay. So we have this, and let's just kind of push that wire down a bit more. And, yeah, so if it's missing, that's red, and then if it's plugged in, that's green. Cool. And then if the roller moves, then, yeah, if it's mostly forwards, then it's yellow, and if it goes backwards, then it's blue. Oh, you can't see that. Let me zoom that out. So yeah, this is the roller. And we can play with some of those numbers for the angle change tolerance so it doesn't keep flickering between blue and yellow. But yeah, let's put the rest of these screws back in. Already screwed in? I think that is. Yeah, it is. Alright, well, that's not looking too bad. Yeah, let's change the angle. And where's the meds at there? Okay, so if we load the meds in like this, and then where's the shim thing here? And then this keeps it locked in place. And then we have this guy here. And then route this around the back here so that we don't accidentally pull stuff. So yeah, medications are loaded in the top, or at least the pill packs. Then if we pull this, then we get yellow. We also see that it flickers a bit blue. So we can tune that number until it's not so silly. And that angle change number in this code is not actually degrees, it's some unit that it made up. COM16 port is busy or does not exist. I'm gonna assume that this is still Fusion hogging it. Either that, or it's the whole, like, this doesn't want to work one way, it wants to work the other way issue. Okay. So if it's staying mostly yellow when we pull in, and I don't want to keep having to like refeed that in, so I'm just going to use some not quite dummy meds, because they're real, but like not the one that I have to keep like repacking over and over. Yeah, we'll just take these ones. So it's loaded in here. And we bump the number up, it's still turning blue occasionally, but it's a lot more yellow now. So we'll just keep tuning that number until, right now it's 30, let's try 60. Loading. Okay. I did not expect to get caught in there. I wonder how we can fix the design so it doesn't do that. But also we could just enforce pulling it the correct direction most of the time. Or, you know, I think it's doing that just because it's, like, loaded off to the side and not inside of the actual thing. So let's load it properly. Okay, so if it's loaded properly, I don't think that will actually see it veer off like that. Okay, so yeah, we are tracking this pretty well. And then let's change it so it just beeps on state change. So let's see. Cool. New, not view. bottle is not the same as that, then pool changed to occupied, false, pool. Okay, so if that, and then we'll just let the autofill do the rest of that. And then let's also have it so that define, pixel status is gonna be pin 4. And so here, let's just set pixels, set pixel color, pixel status, and let's just have it at light by default, not super duper bright. Okay, so I'm thinking that if either of these is set to true at some point, where do you have the buzzer stuff set up? Because I don't want the buzzer to stay on. We want the buzzer to do a thing anytime one of these state changes happens. Any state change, that is. Bool, angle changed equal to false. So if anything trips these, then we'll set that to true. So then here, if bool any changed, this thing knew what I wanted. That's cool. Any bottle position changed. So here, if angle changed or any bottle position changed, then we'll have it buzz. And if not, then it'll stop buzzing. So let's see what happens here. And I also want to get rid of... I'm gonna go find some pill bottles that are the same size. And just take the labels off, like just some empty ones, just so that, like... Ooh, yeah, I like that. It could be smoother, but... Let's actually have it so it only does that when we're moving, forward. So this is gonna be... reversed. So, angle change, let's rename this to pills pulled. And let me go find some empty pill bottles quick. Or at least ones that I can just take labels off of. Okay. Are any of these, like, empty? Okay, that's too skinny. label list, so we should just remove everything in there. Okay. There you go, put this back. And just dump these remainders into proper disposal. Okay, so I need to take the labels off a couple of these, but then should be good to test this out. Thankfully, the CVS labels look like they peel off very easily. Okay, so here's one. That should not be buzzing. Oh, and it looks like that the LED color change is not working either. They probably messed something up in that logic, so we need to fix that. Yeah, I'm gonna go put some nuts in random hardware in these just so that it can feel tactile, I guess. Well, no, there's like medicine covering that. I don't want to worry about rinsing that out. Okay. But yeah, that should not be whining like that. Okay, so let's see if pulls pilled or any bottle. Why is position? That should be any bottle occupation change. Oh, I think I know what's going on. We never actually set those values. So let's try that. And let's have it so that if a bottle changes, or if it doesn't change at all, then I guess okay, this should only like beep once and not stay beeping. Okay, cool. Wow, that looks cool. Let's see, I'm actually gonna go turn those lights off just so that we can see some of that, or at least dim this, so that we can see some of that cool lighting action. Yeah. So maybe if a bottle is inserted, is newly inserted, set color to green, I guess. If bottle is newly removed, set color to maybe yellow. If bottle is sitting in place, set color to white. And if bottle is missing, set color to red. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So, let's just write it for one of these. So if bottle 1 is changed to occupied, set that to green. Else, if bottle changed to free, then set that to yellow. Else, if bottle in place, then set that to white. And then else, set it to red. And then let's just copy that. Actually, we should probably make this function. Void set bottle color int LED position bool new free bool new occupied bool new in place or in place bool missing. So change the occupied, change to free, in place, and then LED position. Okay. Set bottle color. Pixel bottle that. Free, occupied, in place, and missing. I guess we don't actually need that argument then, because we just be adding some random inversions that we don't even need. Okay. So let's see how this does. Okay. So all those are white right now. One's missing, it turns red. It's actually like way too fast to even see the state change. I realize my hand's in the way. Okay, cool. Yeah. So, let's change that, so instead of yellow and blue, when we're pulling it, it's green. And when we're reversing, maybe it'll be yellow. Just because reversing is kind of a weird state. Okay. So we are pulling medications out. Oh, this is the real one, not the dummy roll. And then I guess we have these ones here. So, what I'm thinking is that we should always have all 3 slots occupied, even if there's no medications in one of them. And what I'm thinking is that for how we hold the data, all this thing cares about is what the current state is. And if something has, I guess, changed in the past, whatever. But it also cares if a medication's been missing from its cradle for a while. So, yeah. We could have long, last time bottle 0 in place. And let's have it equal, is it long.min value? What's min value again? And I think it should be a elong, actually. Well, elong is going to be min value anyway, so... Oh yeah. I guess we don't have to worry about that too much. Okay, find Millie's alarm if bottle missing. So if a bottle has been out of place, we're just gonna set it to 1 second, no, say 10 seconds for now, just for testing, but really we want it to be more like 10 minutes. So, and I'm totally gonna be refactoring all this because this is a lot of copy-paste code for each of the 3 bottles. But right now we're just doing proof of concept, and it's kind of easier to do it this way. I just realized that, did I? Oh, never mind. When I added that, it undefined this one. Okay, so let's see. If bottle 0 in place, I guess if it is in place, then we set last time bottle in place, blah blah blah. We'll just keep doing that for the rest of those. And then if Millie's minus bottle 1 missing. Okay, so if Millie's minus whatever that is over the alarm tolerance, then it sets those, and so if any of these bottles are missing, then we'll have it print missing bottle. Let's see. Let's actually have it so that, we also pass that argument in, and then we can actually make it flash red if it's, issue. Bool, missing too long. And then I guess maybe if it's missing for a bit, instead of it turning red, we just have it turn like a less bright white. Now let's have it turn yellow. And then we'll just have it so if it's newly occupied or newly free, then it sets to green, although it's like so fast that it doesn't really matter, I guess. Okay, so else if missing too long, and then we want that to be either red or off. So that would be bool turn on is equal to millis. Let's have it so that it's like, let's have it blank like once a second. If turn on, else I'll have that turn off, or maybe just like a very low red. Okay. Why does it not like that? Oh, that shouldn't have an equal sign. Okay, let's see how this goes. Okay, so if this is pulled out, then it should turn yellow for 10 seconds, and then it should start screaming and blinking red if it's gone for more than 10 seconds. So now we're at yellow, and that's expected. And okay, so it's blinking, but it's not. Let's have bool buzzer or any bottle missing too long buzzer is equal to false. And let's set that to false at the start here, but then set bottle UI status. Let's rename that, and then let's have it so that if that is on, then that turns on too, and then that should make the buzzer go off. Okay, so let's put this in, and nothing should be screaming. That should be white. That means status is good. It's in there. It's missing. It's yellow. So then that is the time window that we should be taking our meds. And then if we're taking too long to do that because we've forgotten to, then we get it to blink. And then that shuts it up. So that works, and then, yeah, so can I actually define it like this? So that'll be seconds. Okay, so 10 seconds right now. If we want to make that like 10 minutes, then I think we multiply by 60, that should work. Let's see. What else? Cause let's also have a thing that detects if we've actually taken something recently. So, let's see. Bottle 0 status changed recently. And then, yeah. And let's really up that angle change tolerance to something that's pretty significant. Let's make it like twice as much as what it is right now. And let's also change these, let's get rid of a bunch of these, like, serial prints right now. Since we already know that all this stuff works. We don't need this test count thing anymore. Okay. So let's also set up, define minutes, medication taken recently window. Let's make that maybe 15 minutes so that we can pull that stuff. And let's also just change this so that that's like, why did I prefix instead of postfix it? Or suffix it? Minutes. So yeah, and let's also just define here millis to minute. Oh, we don't need semicolon there. Let's just copy that all here. And then let's actually have this to where bottle 0 status changed. And let's also add millis to all of these ones. So here, if that has not actually, if that's different at all, then you can change that status. And then here, pills pulled, and then last time encoder status changed, set it to that. And then here we can post-process those times. Times millis to minute. Then we can set bottle 0 taken recently, and then encoder taken recently. Okay, wait. If millis minus that... Okay. Or actually, we can just not even fork it like that. We can just, encoder taken recently is equal to if that time is smaller than that window. So, let's see. Serial.print. For some reason, this is all missing the semicolons. But, let's see. If encoder taken recently. Let's just set this true with the space. False, but with no space. This is just so that everything lines up. There you go, you're learning the pattern. Alright, so this should tell us if we have... Let's actually shorten all these time things to like just 1 minute. Just so that we can test this out faster. Okay. Oh, you know, actually, we can just keep those the same. Let's make those all 10, and then just for testing purposes, we can set this to like something really stupid low. So instead of 10 minutes, we're gonna look at 10 seconds. And 15 seconds. And, instead of changing... Last time bottle in place... Wait. Does that ever change? It does not change. So that's never gonna work. I thought I already put that in the spot that I didn't really want to do that, but yeah. So let's see. Let's have it so that bottle is changed to occupied. Let's say that that's when we've last taken that. And then, do we ever set this one? We do when we pull. Okay, so now everything should be running 60 times faster. So instead of the alarms happening within minutes, that's actually going to be seconds. So, yeah. Right now it says that none of these have been taken recently. Let's pull this a bit. And now it says that we've taken the pill pack meds recently. If we wait about 15 seconds, then that should change to false. Correct. So let's take this and let's pull out pill bottle 2. And then in a few seconds it should change to red and start beeping just like that. And then when we put this in, it should say that bottle 2 was taken recently is true. It says true. Perfect. Let's try 2 of these at a time. So those are both missing. And it says that bottle 1 is taken recently, and it says that bottle 0 is taken recently. And then if we just work that a little bit, then it says that we have taken the encoder stuff recently, and encoder doesn't make sense. So let's just rename that to pill pack taken recently. But yeah, I don't want this to actually keep track standalone, I guess, if I have not taken my meds yet. I think I want my assistant to do that, so I'll think of the architecture for that. But yeah, we can revert this, though, back to, that amount of time. So that it's not, like, super duper annoying. Okay, cool. That is uploading. And then I think the last thing is really just figure out where I want to mount this and just 3D print, just design and 3D print the wall mount or desk mount or whatever it's gonna be. Actually, let's define serial enabled. Let's make this false. Or let's make it true. And then let's disable it so that we don't require it. If serial enabled. And we do that. If serial enabled. Do that. And if serial enabled, then we do all this stuff. And then I think finally I want to be able to access the stuff from a web page. So, let's see. How do I do that? And let's also just temporarily set that to be really fast. Okay, ESP32C3 post web page JSON. Example. Okay, so I'm gonna go set up a header file with the Wi-Fi information. Call this secrets. And we're gonna include secrets. And reload project. And then here we're going to define Wi-Fi SSID and define Wi-Fi password, and I'm going to hide this view for obvious reasons. And then just gonna load it in. Wi-Fi SSID, string Wi-Fi password, and then Wi-Fi SSID and Wi-Fi password. Okay, so that should be safe. Now close out secrets. And show the screen again. Okay, so ESP32S3, Wi-Fi Connect example. I could totally use AI to write this for me, but I don't want to when I'm streaming. Because clearly, just copy-pasting is more, gooder. Although, do I not have the Wi-Fi library? Let's set this to false. Oh, it's because I never changed that. Okay, so that's gonna be Wi-Fi SSID. And this is gonna be Wi-Fi password. Okay, so what I want to do is, if we are just starting to boot up, then, if we are just starting to boot up, then, we set the status LED to blue. That means that we are looking for a Wi-Fi connection. And then I'm just gonna artificially add some delays so that we can get better visibility into this. But then after we connect to Wi-Fi, then we should do that. So then check if we are connected. Can I do this? Guess we're gonna delay more. Let's have maybe int attempts is equal to 0, and then define Wi-Fi connect. It's not cooldown. Timeout seconds 10. And we'll just have it do that many times. If status is not good, then we're going to set the pixel to red, and else we're going to set it to green. Okay, so it's starting off blue. It's quite bright, so it's gonna appear mostly white-ish. And it did not successfully connect. Maybe we should actually turn on the serial stuff. this out into a different area in case it gives away funny secrets. Let's see. It did not give away funny secrets. Can I move this window out somewhere? Float. Yeah. I'll just have it floated up here. Let's see. It failed to connecting to Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi SSID. Let's make sure this is connected to the correct network at least. Okay. Did I even change serial enable? Yeah. Okay, so let's see if it's even outputting that's trying to connect to the Wi-Fi network. It's not. Maybe add some delay here. Because it never... Oh, wait. I think I just forgot to do print line. So it's actually probably appended somewhere else. I just want to check this is actually connecting to the right network first. But once I verify that, I'll go hide this debug message. Wow, that's really weird. It's not even ever saying the Wi-Fi network. Delay. I wonder if we just need some delays here. Because we are doing serial begin. We're delaying here. Serial.println, serial.println. I don't know why this is just not working at all. Wi-Fi connection failed. Let's just add another. Let's just increase that delay and see if that helps at all. Let's let this back to Happy's mode. Okay, so that delay did help at least show that debug message and that we are connecting to the correct Wi-Fi now. Oh! You know what it might be? I forgot to actually put the antenna on. Okay. Alexa, turn workbench light on. Yeah, let's put the antenna on. That would probably help a lot. Oh shit. This is growing algae. I should probably change that water out. I've been drinking algae water. Oops. That's not good. Okay, so where is the antenna? Here's one. Let's snap that on. There we go. Okay, maybe that'll help. Alexa, turn workbench light off. This might just be a really sensitive port. Oh, yeah, it was literally that. We just didn't have the antenna plugged in. Okay, cool, I'll take it. That's easy. Okay, so now we just need the server to do a thing. So yeah, let's print the IP address then. And let's also hide that, and then we can put our debug monitor back in. Oh, what? Move to right bottom? Nope. Just move it to the bottom. Okay. So let's see, what is our IP address? And actually, let's just print the IP address every time so we have to capture that. Or actually, let's just comment all of this out. Status. It's just copying that over and over. I must have done something wrong here. Oh. I see what's going on. Okay, so the IP address is always going to be that. And let's see what happens if we try to hit that IP address, 192.168. .0.107. I'm gonna guess nothing is gonna happen. And nothing is happening. Okay, so I'm gonna just follow this tutorial here. It's the easiest way for me to do that. Let's just put that in there, and then we'll just split these in half. And let's just start copying shit. Okay, so we're gonna include web server. And it's included, and then have that there. Let's copy this one here. This will be a hello world thingy. Setup, we've already begun serial, we've already begun the Wi-Fi. If it's connected, then I guess this will be super basic server stuff. So I guess let's have it so that, server connected is equal to true. Bool server connected is equal to false. And then I guess that we can just do this server.handleClient thing. And let's see what that does. Hopefully that just gives us a little simple hello world thing. We won't be displaying any data here. But we should be able to at least hit the, hit a little hello world page. And let's watch the LED work green, so we should be able to hit something. I guess not. Oh. Oh, it's because we're doing HTTPS instead of HTTP. Okay. So, it is working. And then, let's see. Instead of cramming HTML into a string, we can store it in RAM memory to save RAM. And then we can serve the JSON data. So what do we do with the... Oh, okay, that entire thing is going to be our, what's it called? Web page. Although it's kind of not happy here. Why did that not want to copy nicely? I am confused about what's going on here. Just cutting off the rest of all this. I am lazy. Do we even need that, or can we just have it display the JSON data? would that be text/JSON body content type? So this would be application JSON, I guess. What's the... okay, I guess we're not. We're just separating it by that. I guess Arduino JSON is a library of some kind that we don't have yet. So we need to add this into our settings here. Let's reload. Oh, I see. Okay, so we don't even need to worry about, like, making a fake webpage for this. Oh, heck, something's going on. Oh, it's because that's stuck on there. Okay, so, if I'm understanding correctly, I think we just have to make a, we just need to, define that document. And then doc dot. Bottle 0 taken recently. Okay, yeah, this is just gonna dump all that information in place. Device time. Millis. We don't care about the current angle. We don't care about that angle change tolerance. We don't care about that. We care about that. This is kind of obvious. Oh, why would we ever include that? Okay. So we have all of those, and I'm gonna guess that this is like length of that. So we're just gonna bump that up to 1024. It's probably overkill, but that's okay. So we're gonna make a JSON string, and we're gonna serialize it to that. And I guess we are going to serve that JSON. Here. Awesome! We have exactly what we want going on. We're getting the current device time. We're getting if all these things have happened recently. The thingies being taken recently are all going to false after that timeout, so that's good. And then we can also just give those raw data things. So last time the bottle was in place. Let's also do the last time those various things changed. Encoder, yes. And let's upload that, and then we can just give this a little test, and then if it works, I think we're actually good on the stream. Alexa, turn workbench light on. I am just gonna seal this up, and we're just gonna have the antenna hang out for now, and we need to redesign this thing to hold an antenna. But yeah, let's just get that in place. The chip stopped responding, fine. Probably should have waited until after we programmed to start touching it, because it's really finicky. Alright. Just gonna put this in to shut it up right now. And then once we have this screwed in, we will set it up upright. Okay. And then by having this connect to Wi-Fi, instead of doing some serial stuff, we can place this in where we want, and we don't have to worry about a super stable connection. So if I wanted to, I could put this in my bathroom instead of keep in my office. But yeah, let's change the angle of this a bit more also. Alexa, turn workbench light off. Okay, so let's look at these, are you even connecting to it? Maybe we should have, let's get what the IP address is of this. If it's still 107. I have a feeling that it might be changing because they keep rebooting, because they haven't added the MAC address of this yet to the router. Okay, so we are 107. Yes, and we are getting the latest data out. So there. Interesting. So yeah, this data all looks correct, and other than device time changing, it's everything looks correct. So let's just verify, and let's increase the size of this so that we can actually read it on stream. Okay, so if we remove this, then, bottle 2 is no longer in place, and if we put it back, then bottle 2 is in place. And I want to actually add some things so that we can check if the bottle has been missing for too long. So, cool. Bottle 0 missing too long. Wow, it kind of read my mind there. Okay. So, missing too long. Where do we reference this? let's actually not even define that there. I think if we do that, it should work. And then should be able to see if the bottle has been missing for too long now. Okay, so let's see, what do we get back? Yeah, we get back these statuses. Bottles are in place. The bottles have not been missing for a while. And then if we take this out while that is still yellow, then bottle 2 should not be considered missing. But then once we hit that like 10-15 second thing, this should change to true. And it's true. And then put that back in place. Then it goes back to false. So we can now check over the network a bunch of things that imply if I've taken my meds, and if my meds have been put in their thingy, and if they're lost or missing. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. Alright, well, I think as far as the Cradle of Pilth project goes on stream, I think we're done. I think this is the final Cradle of Pilth stream, because the wall mount thing is just kind of really basic. I might just have that as like a intro to my next stream or something. I still don't know where it's gonna sit, but like, that's not really that interesting. So it doesn't need its own dedicated stream episode. And, I don't know quite how I'm going to connect this to Ritsuko yet. I mean, she's going to be able to read the JSON from this, but, I need to figure out what her behavior will be in terms of the medication checkups. So yeah, I think we're at a very, very good spot. I'm just gonna turn the lights on so that we can see this. Yeah. So, just want to do a demonstration again. Medication is loaded. If you're pulling this, then this beeps, and that blinks. And then this tells you if the pills are sitting in place, which is very obvious when you look at it. But, it's really more so for the alarm when it's missing for too long that starts, beeping like this. But, yeah, and then it's just gonna be USB powered. Just gonna find some place to plug it in 24/7. I don't know if this is low power enough that, well, no, it has these LEDs, so probably not. If I could just use like a LiPo battery or something forever, or just some alkaline batteries, but I'll just have it plug into Walmart. But yeah, cool. Alright, well, I think that we are done for the night. Let's go and raid someone. So right now, Ty is live again. I think we probably stream on like the same days. So I am going to raid. /raid channel. Yeah. So let's do that. Alright, well, I'm gonna be ending the stream as soon as I hit the raid button. So, I'll see y'all. Logging off. Bye-bye.